So glad you're here. So, the Midlife Freedom Podcast just had a glow up, and here we are on YouTube. So, rather than just doing audio, I thought I'd do something a bit different and actually include video now too, which is cool. So, everything I've been doing on Instagram and everything that I've been doing auditorily, listening on the podcast is now together on here. So, if you've been listening to the podcast, thank you for coming over here with me. If you've been on the Instagram channel, thank you for coming over here with me too. Super grateful. And now on here on YouTube, it's so cool because I can actually share all the things that have helped me through midlife, and also everything that I work with, that I am struggling with, and that I've found that's really helped, but also has helped other people I know. Now, one of the things that I've kept really quiet about, unless you met me actually in person, in circle, is more of my spiritual work. So, on here, on the Midlife Freedom Project, and you know why it's a project? It's a project because midlife freedom is work. You can't just let it go and just cruise into a fantastic freedom lifestyle. It doesn't work like that. So we've got to put the work in, and I tell you what, I've put work in. So one of the things that's really helped me though is my spiritual work and things like cards, oracle cards, angel cards. I'm not so much into tarot, only because I don't know it, so I rely on other people for their tarot advice. But all the other sorts of cards, I do pull cards as well. So today, in our video, I will pull a card as well for the group who's watching this, and for you to see what comes up. So thank you for being on here. The main thing about this is I reckon midlife has been given a really raw deal, actually. And I think midlife is really a chance for awakening and a chance to create your next chapter. So if you're like me, you've raised kids, and for example, I've raised kids for 20 years. My youngest is now 16. She lives with me. So you might have the same thing, but you know what it's like. The house changes entirely. From going from busy, so scheduled, you're with, you've got people coming and going, you're driving people around everywhere, cooking huge dinners, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, all right then, so that'll be me. I'm a little bit bored, I'm a little bit lonely, what the hell am I here for, what's my purpose? So if that's you, then I really hope that you'll find some help from this channel and that you'll enjoy the cards, especially if you feel like you're waking up into that kind of spiritual side. And you start looking out for things like angel numbers, and you realise that meditation's actually probably not a bad idea, and you might even feel better if you've tried it, if you can keep your mind still enough and long enough to do it. So I'll go over some meditation techniques as well, because I've tried and tested most of them, mainly because I always fall asleep during meditation. And boy, have I struggled for ages trying to get through hundreds of hours of shamanic training, most of which was in meditation, and I had to redo most of it because I slept through it. So I will help you also if you want to get to grips with meditation, because I truly believe it's one of the most powerful things that we can do in midlife. So this is kind of the transition from just doing listening to just doing video as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep it really brief today because it's a different format for me, and as you probably know, every time we do something new, it can feel a bit awkward, it can feel a bit scary, and even with all the best will and planning in the world, sometimes you just feel like you're going, you know what, that didn't go so well, or I'm a bit scared, or it feels different. Anyway, so today what I'd love to do is just pull some cards, and hopefully that will help you if you're in a position in midlife at the moment and you're just going, what the hell is going on? I feel like I've been in a washing machine and I'm coming out the other side. Please know that there are going to be all sorts of tips and tricks and hacks, life hacks, almost mindset hacks, to help you get through this, because I actually believe it can be the most exciting, greatest chapter, and only because you can't see what it looks like right now and you don't actually know what's involved, because welcome to the club, there's something around the corner for you. There is something so exciting around the corner for you. And so I'd love to walk by your side and and let's do this together. Why not? There is a huge community of midlife women who are waking up right now. Really exciting time to be who we are, to be a Gen Xer. All of a sudden we've got a voice, we can be seen. You know, companies are looking out for us because we're their best customers. You know, we love a good loyalty program. So yeah, if that's you, you're absolutely in the right place. Okay, cool. So let's get to it on the Animal Spirit Guidebook, which is this one here. And I am just going to pull a couple of animals and see. So I'm going to suggest to you, why don't you see which number feels like it resonates best, whether it's number 1, 2 or 3. And I will pull a card for the group 1, 2 and 3 and give you the reading. So now, if you've never seen this side of my work before, this might be a bit weird and a bit new for you, but you know what? It's quite fun. So, okay, this is card number 1. What do we got? Number 1, we've got a scorpion. Okay, so let me just read into the scorpion for you. And I will be able to tell you, hopefully, have in your mind some question maybe about what you're facing right now, what situation you might be facing. Scorpion's pretty interesting. Okay, so the book version of the scorpion is passionate, competitive, and tend towards isolation. So I'll read you the book version and then I'll give you a bit of my own personal take on it. So scorpion's passionate, determined creature. Their career is very important to them as are a few select friends. Sometimes the scorpion's heat festers and they focus on the unresolved event from the past, usually a situation where they were left feeling burned. Scorpion card says it's time to come clean about your feelings so everyone can heal and you can get back to your usual fiery but fun self. When in balance is wild and free and fierce, and when out of balance you can be jealous, resentful and unresolved. And to bring into balance honesty and forgiveness. So my take on the scorpion, and I will keep this brief because it's more about what you think of the scorpion. So that's the scorpion card. So you can see that there is the bright heat, the black and white pictures, which is this deck. You've got the sharp pincers, if that's what they call it. Is that what they're called on scorpions? Yeah, I think so. But there is fire in the tail. So I think that with that, there might be something that you're facing right now that actually previously you may have handled it with some sharpness, or you kind of gone at it full kind of great guns blazing. You may have gone really, saying, right, we've got to do it this way and cut those ties and be really harsh about it. And it feels to me like that's so funny. I've got a bird sitting right on top of the window there. How funny. Okay, let's get back to Scorpion. So it feels like if there's a situation that you're facing right now, you might need to think carefully and perhaps tone down some of the fieriness in it, but you will still achieve the same goal. So if that resonates, that's number 1. If you picked number 2, let's have a look at number 2. Who's number 2? If you picked number 2, now I won't always do card pulls. So if you're new to this, there are plenty of podcast videos on there, and obviously I'm going to be adding new videos all the time. Okay, so who have we got for, this is what we've got for number 2. Number 2, we've got a black egg. Okay, so that's really exciting. That's from the spiritual realm within the pack. So the black egg, I'm just going to read that to you because that's a really lovely, beautiful, magical card. And it's funny because I turned straight to it. So the black egg, speaking from the authentic voice, the truth. The black egg contains one of life's essential treasures, the truth. Inside of it resides no confusion, excuses, small talk, noise, or lies, not even white ones. This living and breathing vessel harbours only that which rings true. With this essence is in balance, we speak slowly and clearly. We are drawn to activities like writing, reading, teaching, singing, or perhaps public speaking, or creating a YouTube channel, who knows. Sounds draw us in, books draw us in, the concept of truth itself draws us in. We start asking questions like, what do I know to be true about myself, and what is true about the world? When the energy of the black egg is not yet accessed, we speak from an unsure place. We say things others want to hear, gossip, or repeat stories to justify. So that's just like people pleasing. So if you're coming out of a phase of people pleasing, this is so for you. It's really digging into what you know to be true within your heart. Now, if you've seen me on Instagram today, I posted a story on Instagram, and it was all about, and there was a visualization that I ran through in my stories. And my Instagram is Midlife Freedom Angel. If you're not there yet, or if you've come from there, make sure you look at today's stories. I might actually, I might do that meditation. But look at today's stories, because you'll see it's all about finding that truth of who you are, and maybe asking yourself a question of, what is the truth? And I really don't like that expression of what is my truth? I must speak my truth. But actually, that's kind of a really good question of what is true for you, or what are you doing to try and please other people? So just get back to this. The energy of the black egg hovers and waits for us to reconnect. It's coming back to yourself. That's where all your power lies. And especially in midlife, you don't have to get, distracted. And you don't have to put anybody else's priorities ahead of yours, because now it's your time. Now it's your time to really settle into who you are. So the last bit of this reading is, it is available at every moment, in every situation. It's the epicenter of truth, the birthplace of our voice. So that is the black egg, and that's the picture that's actually in the book for the black egg. That is your epicenter. That's your truth. So ask yourself that question of actually what is true for me. So again, if you're thinking about a question or a situation that's coming up in your head, just ask what is true for me. Don't do people pleasing. That's not the time anymore. You just don't need to. We're in this beautiful, powerful space that many of us are really waking up. Many of us are changing things up, and also it's a lovely convenience coming up to the end of 2024, depending on when you're watching this video. There is a lovely natural space of let's close this year of 2024 and reopen with new goals, new dreams, new actions actually to achieve what you want, and to be really truthful and honest about what it is that you want to achieve in 2025. And I'll talk more about that, obviously, as we get closer to the year. Okay, so group number three. Let's look at group number 3. I'll have to learn how to timestamp this, because that would be easier, wouldn't it? Ooh, there we go. What's this one? Oh, no, it's just hidden again. There we go. So, okay, it's that one. Hey, Firefly. So Firefly, this is an interesting one, actually. So I was working with a client the other day, and she pulled Firefly. So that's really cool. Okay, so let's just see So as you can see, the symbols on the top there, signify what element it is, whether it's earth, fire, water, or spirit. Earth, fire, water, air, there we go, or spirit. And so the black egg, that was a spirit card, which is kind of overarching your highest powers. The Firefly, let's have a look at the Firefly. Firefly is fire element, surprisingly. You don't say. Oh, it's not. It's an air element. Oh my goodness. I eat my words. It's an air element. How funny. Okay, where are you, little Firefly? Where are you? Firefly. Okay, inspired and fantastic, yet fleeting. Firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. There we go. You can have a look at the card and just tune into that picture. Can you see that? Can you see that? I'll put it right up to the camera for you. There you go. Have you ever seen fireflies? Depending on what country you live in, you might always see them, or you might never see them. If you live in England, I don't think we even have fireflies here, do we? But when I lived in Canada, I saw loads of fireflies, and they never ever ceased to amaze me with their magic of how beautiful they were. And yeah, they just felt so magical. Okay, so Firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars, is pure, radiant and illuminating. This high frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the Firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration, of awakening, that quickly fades if we don't catch it. There is Firefly energy behind every poem, song and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness this creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? So when in balance, right creates brainstorms. When out of balance, burnt out feels dull. And to bring into balance, write a poem or draw. So my interpretation on this one is it's a beautiful energy for launching into your new year and launching into 2025 and allowing a close of what's happened in 2024 and start to infuse whatever the energy is of 2025 for you. Really start to find the quiet so that you can actually step into this with joy. Okay, so if I can, I'd love to ask you, as this is, you may well be new to this channel, please subscribe. And if you've got comments, let me know which card you pulled. And I would love to see you here in the future. As I say, it won't always be a card pull, but I will always be here to share, the insights of what's going on and what's of the moment and how it can help you too. Okay, thanks for watching. See you soon.